Oh, Hanaki! Did you know that our souls are connected by fate? What do you know? I'm Yuno Hanaki, the one and only around from Yaloon. Good evening, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. Hi. Hi. Hello. Hi, Yuno Hanaki. Why are you calling me by my full name? I feel like I did something wrong. What did I do? I feel like I haven't done anything. But I wouldn't know, I guess. I knew. Do I get a prize? No. You get to just be happy with the fact that you had the knowledge. You know, don't do it again. Not this again. Kawaii. Miss Yuno Hanaki Hanaki Yuno, please report to the office. I'm just like, uh-oh. What'd I do? Your voice sounds a bit higher than normal. Are you in a good mood? I guess so. I was doing the higher voice because I was playing up the panic TM as part of the bit. It's just really gonna do it. This time I'm really gonna do it, guys. This time, for real, I'm gonna do it. Maybe we should hit some extra helium. Why do you think I regularly consume helium? That's the real question I should be asking you. Voice changer needs tweaking. You're so right. Good morning. Good morning. Did you just wake up? Good morning, if so. Hanaki. To float? Why am I just like how you assume things that I just do, and I'm just supposed to agree with it, I guess. Huh? I guess so. You do sound crisper? I guess so. Again, I might just be because I'm talking a little bit closer to my microphone, perhaps. Which is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be, like, way closer to it than I usually am. I'm, like, a little closer to my mic, I guess, but not really. I don't know. Get closer. Okay. Do you like this better? But yes, Hanaki, welcome in. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everything's good. Nom nom mic, yeah. I'm getting really close to my microphone. I'm gonna chomp it. Wife. Consume mic. We're not doing that this early into the stream. I don't want to break your ears. I don't want to break your ears via me chomping on my microphone. Anytime you got angry and got close to the mic. Tuskaru ear damage. I don't understand why VTuber fans enjoy getting ear damage. I don't really understand the appeal of it. That would imply our ears aren't already broken. By other VTubers, right? Never by me, right? I've never broken your ears before, right? I'm good. I'm chill in comparison. I don't know why VTuber viewers like knowing how to feel. No, I don't. I just don't understand why that's the way that you want to feel things. I just feel like you could get the joy of sensation trademark elsewhere. As opposed to all the other things VTuber fans say Tuskaru at. I mean, I guess, but like, I can understand wanting to like look at a feat or like asking a VTuber to zoom in on their chest to like look at the accessories on their shirts. That I get. I don't understand why you would want to have pain inflicted upon you by like a scream or something. I've never truly understood it. I guess it's part of why I never understood why management always wanted me to play horror games, because I was always just like, but why would I play something where I scream? And they're just like, but fans like it. And I'm just like, but why though? And they're like, but fans like it. What's the explanation? I don't understand. They were real for that? I mean, I guess so. That's probably why they pushed so many of us to play horror games. That letter is M. Ah, true. M for Maso. I haven't heard that term in ages. Anyways, I guess going back to whether or not I'm in a good mood, I'm in an okay mood. I'm not great, but I'm also not, like, terrible. I did kind of have a rough start earlier in the day, but I managed to take care of it, and now I feel better. Sometimes the only way to feel better is to eat a bowl of pasta, and that is what I did. I was just like, this mood kind of sucks. I'm feeling rather negative. Is it because of things that are actually happening, or is it because I haven't eaten yet today? And then I had dinner, and I was like, you know what? That makes sense. Bowl of pasta is the cure. I wish I had bowl of pasta. It was a good bowl of pasta. Very yummy. And I had a piece of cheesy garlic bread. And I put, I made bacon and then I, like, ripped it into chunks to put into the pasta, so it was yummy pasta. What kind of pasta? It was like a creamy pasta with, like, an herb sauce. Like, miscellaneous, like, herbs and seasonings mixed into, like, a creamy sauce. Yeah. On some angel hair, like, really thin spaghetti noodles. It was very yummy. And then I added the bacon for protein. The garlic bread is garlic bread because it just comes that way, right? We're not doing this again. But no, it was cheesy garlic bread too, so it had cheese sprinkled on top of it. When I put it in the air fryer and toasted it, the cheese got all melty. Yippee! Yippee! So good. When are we going to enter Yuno's cooking training arc? Never. I'm never going to cook, and you can't make me. I will cook in terms of creating content. I will never actually cook. I will survive off of boxed dinner, frozen food, and a dream. She can cook if you love burnt foods. That's true. I can cook if you like food that tastes disgusting. And/or is burnt and/or is raw on the inside somehow still. Flavors that are bad. Yes. You can cook my marshmallows, but nothing else. Hell yeah. Can Mamadachi cook? Hitomi? Yes, Hitomi can cook and also likes to cook. That's the big thing. Not only can I not cook, I don't like cooking, which is why I'm never going to have a training arc for cooking, because I don't like the process. It pisses me off too much. I don't like it. It always just feels like a waste of time. Yuno really is the John Arbuckle of VTubing. I don't know if I should see this as a compliment or an insult. I also consume pasta, leftover fancy mac and cheese with barbecue pulled pork. Ooh, yummy. That does sound good. At least you know you won't starve. Yeah, Hitomi has always mentioned wanting to cook meals for me whenever I mention how I'm eating a boxed dinner again. For like the 9th time in a week. But she likes to cook. If we ever end up living together, which is eventually our plan, I believe, she has offered to do most of the cooking. And then in exchange, I will be the one who sucks it up and orders the delivery. Like if I have to call to order a pizza or something, I will be the one to do it. I will handle all of the food ordering. Perfectly balanced. By law, you will do all the washing? No. By law, we will have a dishwasher. Cooking is pretty annoying, but I see it as an unavoidable necessity, which is just enough motivation. I'm glad that you can find that to be motivating. When I think about the fact that it's unavoidable, I hate it. It makes me wish I was doing literally anything else. Also, the amount of days where I force myself to cook even though I don't want to, and then I immediately forgot that I had something cooking, and then it ends up getting like burned or ruined or like dried out or whatever the hell else I could do to fuck it up, even if it's a box dinner. Too many times. That's because of how much I hate it. My brain will purposefully make me like ignore it because I don't want to do it. And then it ends up ruining the food, and I'm just like, well, great. Cool. I love gloop. I love cooking. It feels like art, especially if I put some classical music on. Well, aren't you fancy? Put you in the back line of a French restaurant looking shit. No, really, I love that for you. It does not compute for me in that way at all. I like watching other people cook. And I do actually like listening to the sound of cooking. I was talking to someone about this the other day, but like I like listening to cooking ASMR and like the sounds associated with cooking, but I hate having to be the one to do the cooking. Yeah, your wee ass. Bonjour, go make those escargot or whatever. But it's fine. I do eventually like force myself to do it. It's just that I have a very limited list of things that I can make. And all of them involve box dinners or like something that is already pre-prepared and like pre-seasoned or whatever. Bad at it otherwise. Thumbs up. And I don't have the means to do one of those like meal kit services where they like send you all of the pre-prepared stuff. Because that's also still such a pain, because they're like, oh, you could finish this within like 15 minutes. And then the prep time still takes like 30 minutes. And I'm just like, cool. What do you mean? I just put the pasta into pot and voila, plain pasta because I forgot the sauce. Literally me! Accidentally threw away the sauce packet, or like the sauce pouch, because I was just focused on making the noodles. Digging through my trash can to try and find the sauce packet. Sounds like box dinner with extra steps. Yeah, and then people are just like, but it's so much better for you because it's fresh ingredients and you're like making food. And I'm just like, it's really not that different. Everything converts into energy within the stomach anyway. Does it truly matter where it's coming from? Their time estimates are for the cooks who already know the process. Yeah, I figured that out kind of belatedly too. I would like look up recipe cards online just to see if it would even be worthwhile. And then I'd see the time estimate and I'd look and be like, I don't think that would actually take that short of time. But it's whatever. Anyways. But the pasta was yummy. Food was good. Even if it was just all like instant stuff that just required heating mostly. I've done that with mac and cheese, macaroni in pot, water boiling, forgot out of milk. Oh god, isn't that the worst? Time to make dinner. Yippee! Enjoy making your food and your classical music or whatever else you're doing today. Hope you make something yummy. Yummy! But yeah, I didn't really get up to much today. It was a pretty chill day. I've just been, I mentioned this the other day, I think, but I have found who I want to commission for all of my assets except for my overlays. And I want to get a new schedule. So I've been window shopping for that. I was window shopping for that late last night. And I was doing like a little bit of glimpsing today, but it's so hard because there aren't many places that offer everything in a singular package. So I'm kind of like, do I have to get the overlays and then get the schedule from somewhere else? Or do I have to do 2 separate commissions and like not get like a package? And it's just kind of annoying. And like, I also know what I want, or like the vague idea of what I want everything to look like. But I also know that I was thinking about changing some things because I'm hoping to get a room background. Like, I want a custom, like, room. You guys know that. That was one of the goals on the list for the Unothon. And I'm like, I've priced out how much the room is going to cost, but then when I was thinking about overlays, I was like, do I still want like a generic background overlay though, in case I don't want to use the room background? Or like vice versa, I guess. The room background in case I don't want to use the generic one. Because then that also kind of affects the prices of overlays, and I was just like, blowing up, basically. Designing things is hard. I mean, I would have had to do this even if I was getting the resources through Kawaii, I suppose, if I was still corporate. But trying to think of like a creative direction for assets is proving to be difficult for me. I just want to find someone where all I have to do is shove all of my visual references at them in like a mood board or something and just be like, okay, now do it. Shove them all of that, give them some money, and then just be like, go crazy. My dinner today will be ham sandwiches in the panini press. Ooh, that sounds yummy. I've been thinking about getting back into making sandwiches again. I go through phases with sandwiches where, like, I really want them, and then I'm, like, on the ball with making sandwiches pretty often. But then I get really sick of it, and then I just stop making sandwiches, and it ends up being a waste of all the sandwich ingredients. But I was thinking the other night about, like, getting the stuff to start making sandwiches at home. I was thinking about turkey sandwiches instead of ham sandwiches, though. Love a turkey sandwich. Here, now draw a thing, please. Literally me. Literally me. I just wish it could be that easy, but it's not. Might need seasoning with that turkey. Mayo chup. Also, onions. Overlay old Twitch meta with space for the thigh cam. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Not a fan of the classic PB&J. Oh no, I love PB&J. But, I had to make that for Onimama a lot. As in, and by a lot, I mean every single day. For like a really long time. So I got kind of sick of making them. But I have gotten refixated on Uncrustables. So I actually try to go out of my way to make sure I have like a box of Uncrustables in my freezer. They are really good for just a little quick treat. Quick little sandwich. Yum, yum. I bet even something like deciding on a BGM must be tough. You must have listened to a lot before deciding this one is the one for me. If you mean the one that's playing right now, I guess so. I had a different one for Onimon initially, but it was a lot shorter of a loop. This one loops a lot more cleanly. But there's a channel that makes Wagaki style instrumentation, and they always have like 3-hour loops of music with like different vibes, but they're always like traditional Japanese like Wagaki instrumentation. I really like their stuff. That's actually the person who we ended up commissioning to make the custom Yuno BGM. But I like their other stuff that they offer. And you can get like a free/discounted download for their music. So I'm probably going to be picking from that when it comes to changing up our BGMs. Was just about to recommend Uncrustables. I love those little bitches. They're my fave. Do you wait to thaw them out or do you eat them frozen? I do sometimes eat them frozen still. They don't get that hard in the freezer, so it's not like it's that difficult to eat them when they are still frozen. They also don't take that long to thaw, so if you feel like being patient enough, it doesn't take very long until they are softer. But it's really not that frozen, because the jelly doesn't freeze. So, like, honestly, you're just kind of crunching on cold peanut butter and, like, cold but not frozen jelly. So, sometimes the texture's kind of good, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it kind of is a vibe. And it's yummy. So, if it works, it works. As long as it doesn't hurt my teeth, which it never has, I'm good. Actually, sometimes I have peanut butter and jelly toast instead of a sandwich. Yeah. Oni Mama used to like her toast like that a lot, too. But she also liked to do just peanut butter and butter, where I would have to put peanut butter, and then I'd also have to put butter on top of the peanut butter so it would melt. It was a whole thing. But she also liked peanut butter and jelly toast. I would often have to make that for her in the mornings. Makes a good frozen treat during summer. You get me. The amount of times it would be the middle of the night and I'd be kind of sweaty sitting at my desk just like playing a game or doing something else, and I would just go grab Uncrustables from the freezer. Peanut butter and butter, that sounds cursed. Well, the butter kind of melts on top of the peanut butter, and the peanut butter also gets kind of melty because it's being put on top of warm toast. It's like a combination of like the kind of sweet and nutty taste of the peanut butter and then like the salt of the butter. It really only works if it's salted butter, however, though. If it's unsalted butter, it's just not... It's just a weird extra texture. Extra creaminess, I guess. But you have to do it with salted butter. Did you call it PB&B? No. I don't think it had a specific name. She would just say toast with peanut butter and butter. But she never really shortened it to PB&J either. She would just call it by its government name, peanut butter and jelly. Government assigned a name. Calling out the full government. She didn't really abbreviate stuff super often. At least not that I can remember. At the very least, she definitely didn't abbreviate, that. Hanaki, welcome in, welcome in. Yuno, that's me. Hope you are doing good. But yeah, in terms of BGM, I was probably going to change BGM closer to when I had everything else. Because once I know what everything looks like visually, it'll be a bit easier to pick an instrumental track that I like, I think. So BGM is probably going to be something I decide last. Is that a Magikarp spider? This is Magirak. He is my son. I played Pokemon Infinite Fusion, not on my channel, but when I played Pokemon Infinite Fusion, one of the funny combinations I managed to make was with a Magikarp and a Spinarak. And it's called Magirak, and he looks like this. Ever since I first showed him to the Damadachi, they have wanted him to stay on screen, so now he is our pet and he stays with chat. I like the picnic PBJ. Make sandwiches, put in Ziploc, put in cooler on top of drinks on top of ice. With bag sealed moisture in the air will condense as it cools. True. There is something about like a refrigerated PB&J that is also pretty yummy. Versus the frozen Uncrustable. I can see the appeal. Do love a cold sandwich. I grew up eating PB&J like every day in my school lunches, so I have a similar experience, especially because I also was like primarily a milk drinker. So I had like one of those like cooler lunch bags, and it would keep the milk cold, and thus it would also keep the sandwich cold. Although once we could switch to Uncrustables, Oni Mama was very happy because she didn't have to make a sandwich for me every morning anymore. Did you used to cut your sandwiches in half? Nah, I was never a coward. I didn't mind if it was cut in half by like a third-party entity or whatever, but whenever it came to like making sandwiches, I never bothered to cut them in half. I would just be like, whatever. It's just a sandwich. Uncrustables get rid of the best part. Well, I also like crust, don't get me wrong. I love a sandwich with like bread that has crust. But the thing with the Uncrustable is the convenience of it, and then again we go back to like the frozen texture is sometimes really yummy. But it's more so a convenience thing. You'd sand it? Yes, sir. Wonder what a grilled PB&J tastes like? Good. I think the only thing that would be weird is the warm jelly. But I love the taste of like warm, gooey peanut butter. And I think the warm bread would also be like a nice texture. The only thing I'd be worried about is warm jelly. I don't think I would like that very much. But if we're 2 for 3, surely it couldn't be that bad. I remember my childhood neighbor's kids got really upset because my mom cut sandwiches straight instead of diagonal. I never had sandwiches cut diagonal. Whenever they were cut, they'd be cut straight. Well, I shouldn't say I've never had them. Like, if I would buy the sandwiches, like, at a cafeteria or something, they would be triangle shaped sometimes. But, like, Onimama, if she ever cut the sandwich, would be just down the middle. So, I don't know. I never cared. A sandwich is a sandwich, man. Yum, yum. Personally, I like jam preservatives over jelly. That is, you're right, but I prefer jelly. Never tried an Uncrustable. Want to see what the fuss is about, but I don't know if they sell them around here. I hope you can find them. I'm sure you could probably find a knockoff version if you try to search for Uncrustable. It doesn't have to be the brand one. I'm pretty sure any of the knockoff versions will basically taste the exact same. Used to make my own fresh jelly-filled donuts at work. Warm jelly ain't bad. Ugh. But it's different if it's in a donut, though. If an Uncrustable were cut in half, would it be diagonal or straight? Well, how do you cut a pizza? A pizza has both straight and diagonal cuts. It would be the same thing with an Uncrustable, because Uncrustables are circular. You can make them at home, too. This is true. They do offer, like, circular cutters that you can, like, stamp into your sandwich to cut out the center part of a sandwich. And then you're left with the crust and then the parts of the bread that didn't make it into the circle. Which means a snack. Wrong answer. You eat the middle first. What are you talking about? This is where I find out you don't know how to eat sandwiches. The middle of the pizza? Even worse. I've decided that's even worse objectively. Y'all don't eat your burgers from the top down? What do you mean by that? A delicious burger takes off the top bun, eats just the bun. Picks up the meat patty, eats the meat patty. First consume the donut hole, then the donut. Twice the food for the same number of calories. You're so right. Don't y'all eat the pizza from the middle first? I mean, what part of the slice do you eat first? Well, see, I thought the implication was that you don't even bother to slice the pizza and that you're just, like, diving your face into the center of it to start eating from there. Like a pig at a trough. That's what I was thinking when that was first said. By all accounts, if you're holding up a slice, you are eating from the part that was originally in the middle of the pizza. Technically. But once you separate the pizza from the rest of... Once you separate the slice from the rest of the pizza, I feel like that no longer counts. Taco pizza, no pizza taco. I mean, a pizza taco sounds like it could be kind of yummy in theory. Reminding me of a certain VTuber who throws away the top bun of a burger. I feel like I don't want to know who this is. I feel like that will really shatter my illusions, my preconceptions, my aberration. I don't want to know. Oh, Hanaki, welcome in. Pizza taco edition of OniMon, I guess. We're just kind of randomly talking about food now. But I feel like it isn't a VTuber stream if they don't bring up food at least at one point or another. Imagine it's Lynn. I don't think she'd throw it away. Oh, pizza taco. Ugh. I throw up. I only have butter knives, so any oven-baked pizza here is cut where the pepperoni isn't. I usually have like 4 Tetris block bits. Last time I started from the side of the cut like a sociopath. That's crazy. Get a sharper knife. Why do you only have butter knives? You're telling me you don't have like a slightly sharper knife? Or buy a pizza cutter. They're not that expensive. What the freak? Male? What do you mean? You should still have sharper knives. Aren't men all about eating manly steak, big cuts of meat? You need a big fat steak knife to eat your big fat man steak. The fuck kind of... What do you mean? To fight the inevitable butter stick uprising? Oh yeah, of course, my mistake. Who says we cut the meat? What? How else are you supposed to eat it? What the hell do you mean by that? Big fat man steak just sent me into the moon. Use fork to bring meat to mouth, bite into it. Okay, I do understand. Yes, I get it. But what I'm asking is, do you just stab the steak with your fork, bring the whole thing up to your mouth, and then just try to tear off pieces? What do you mean? Like God intended? I don't think that is how God intended. I don't need beef, so a steak knife is very silly, but you still need a sharper knife. Then we go back to our original conversation of getting a pizza cutter. Pizza cutters are like, what, $3? It doesn't even need to be a good one. What the frick? Eating caveman style. Yeah, apparently all of you eat like cavemen. I am learning things today. Are you implying God intended us to use chopsticks or forks? I would say fork and then also a knife. Fork and knife for steak. 'Cause they're so juicy. Why would you use your fingers? You'd get it all over you. Fork and spoon? I guess? It would take forever to cut something with the spoon, though. I I don't even think God intended us to cook the cows, but he made the critical mistake of making them delicious. I mean, I don't really know if God fully intended for anything that we decided to eat. If it's juicy, we just suck our fingers. That's so gross. You guys are never going to get dates if you are eating steak like that. Your girls are never going to take you somewhere fancy. You will never know the touch of a woman because you're going to be too focused on touching the steak. Even better. I love that for you. It's meat against meat and I choose meat. No, that's very valid. I would also choose meat, to be honest with you. Imagine God didn't mean for us to eat animals and you just ask him why he made pigs taste good and he just looks at you like, He would just be like, interesting. Very interesting question that you have chosen to propose to me. I think you're in the wrong place. Getting sent directly to hell because you ate too many steaks in your lifetime. Satan's down there eating steak with his hands and it's just like, yo, what up? You think girls want to date any of us to begin with? Why do you think we're here watching a VTuber? I mean, I think you could still have a partner and watch a VTuber. But that's just my opinion. Nice touch. That's just my humble opinion. About that, I don't want to hear it. There have been several people who have said that they are in relationships or even like married and still watch me. So like, whatever, man. Watching Yuno with your partner on a romantic non-utensil steak dinner. I love that. Ideal date. And then you hear Yuno talking about eating steak without utensils and it's just like, wow, babe, she's just like us. Yeah, she's just like me, for real, for real. And that's what's happening over there. Picturesque Tamagotchi date, it's true. On a somewhat related note, you see Shiki say she got married. I'm happy for her. Yeah! So cute. It's interesting seeing more people being open about their relationship statuses in such a way. Happy for her. It blew up from what I saw. You know, your thighs are absolutely beautiful. I'm always looking respectfully. Yeah, sure. Respectfully. Shiki Miyoshino, yeah. She announced that she is a newlywed. Apparently she wanted to wait until the relationship was like permanent before saying anything about it, which I think is very valid. I want to confess to you something. I'm in a relationship with my pillow. I can't get any woman because I just love my pillow since it helps to sleep and I love sleep. No, I totally get it. We love a pillow. Very cozy. 100k likes last I saw. Seems she's the talk of the town. I don't want to look at the replies. I'm sure most of the replies are very positive, but I'm also very worried that there are some less than savory ones in there. Ay, 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 ay. That's so cool. I agree. Like I said, I think it's kind of nice that people feel more comfortable with like coming out about this stuff. I think that the more people can talk about it, the less of a stigma there will be. So hopefully as more people are able to talk about that kind of thing, it can eventually lead to the idea that it doesn't have to even be an issue for anybody that a VTuber has a partner. At least it was nice that in her message she also said she understood if people left because of it. I feel bad that she had to have that as a caveat, but I do think that she was at least trying to be kind to people who decided they wanted to leave. I just hope that nobody, like, gave her shit either way. I feel like acknowledging the other side of the fence isn't always the best thing. But, you know, some people are just a bit kinder than I would be in a certain situation. I think I just wouldn't... I wouldn't really care. If I felt the need to announce something like that, it would just be at a point where I'm just like, if you don't like it, okay. And then I just wouldn't feel any way or another about it. Now is the time for Yuno to announce her long line of ex-spouses. I mean, I've said in the past that I have had... relationships, but I truly have not been in a relationship for like literally years at this point. So there is no long line of ex-spouses. I have never had a spouse either. I've never been married. But I am truly very, very single. A couple of friends were happy for her, but said in hindsight it does make some ASMR awkward to listen to. That's true. I mean, people, like, use ASMR primarily for roleplay. So I think if you're able to divorce it and just think of it as a roleplay scenario, it's probably easier to listen to. But I have a feeling that, like, it just depends on your ability to, like, divorce emotions from it. Depends on the content creator, though, also. You know, 7 evil exes. If marriage get, do tell us we need to send the poor lad some cookbooks or gift cards to the local steakhouse. Where I can check firsthand if they eat their steak with their fingers. That would be pretty funny. That would be pretty funny. But no, I've said this previously, I think, during my... I think this was during one of the Unathon streams. I really don't remember. A lot of that month is kind of a blur. But, like, I'm single. I'm not particularly looking. I wouldn't say I'm really looking anywhere. Or if I ever will be. I'm pretty fine with where I'm at. I'm pretty content with being single, personally. Something is on your thighs, a spider or something. You are really trying to fish to get a look at the legs, aren't you? It's pretty funny. Only have eyes for us, for real, for real. I mean, don't... I've already said that you guys are never going to stand a chance, but you can think that if you want to. There's a fish there. Oh my god, a fish? Whoa. You know what that means? Fish. I think it's kind of hard to separate the roleplay from the person if you're hanging around on the regular, but maybe that's just me. It depends. I think if you can go in with the knowledge that, like, it's roleplay, because, I mean, some people will, like, put the disclaimer that, like, all of their ASMR or, like, scenario stuff or whatever is purely roleplay, like I do. I think it's easier to keep the separation. But I think for people who, like, make it, I guess, closer to their usual branding, or like they act pretty much like themselves but doing ASMR, I can see why the lines would be a bit blurry. The VTuber it should have been meing is probably a good relief valve. Fans can meme off of that. So true. It should have been me. How ironic would it be if two content creators admired each other, but each one thought they had no chance being just a fan? We love a Romeo and Juliet scenario. That's the kind of dynamic I'd like to see more of. I'd love to see the... Like, most of the media that focuses on VTuber stuff is usually like, oh, what if a VTuber got really close to their fan? I want to see more stuff about two content creators trying to make a relationship work without things feeling parasocial. I think that would be entertaining. I mean, there's a few examples of, like, mostly on the Western side, I should say, but there's a few examples of, like, VTubers who are, like, married and are, like, a pair, and that's kind of their whole gimmick. And then there's, like, people who, like, make their lore or concept kind of, like, tied to one another once they decide to get into a relationship. So, like, Friends or VTuber Wotakoi. I guess VTuber Wotakoi is closer to the vibe I'm thinking of. As somebody who also likes Wotakoi. There's one very infamous example in JP which ended only slightly better than Romeo and Juliet. True. But I feel like it's just something that's usually kept quiet. Here's a glimpse at wife, by the way, since there's one person who is insisting. And it's not that big a deal. Wife check. She's doing okay. She is fine as always. Thumbs up. Wife out of 10. I like how you're saying clip it. It's not like they've never seen the thighs before. Breakfast for dinner tomorrow, okay? She says yes. That sounds yummy. And I agree, that also sounds yummy. Reminds you when Tamaki announced that the person behind them was getting married and everyone was like, finally. That's the kind of vibe I wish we could see more often. But, you know, I also do understand that, like, certain audiences appear around particular platforms. But I just hope that it can become a bit more normalized over time. I didn't get a good look at it. No, not right now. In my example, the content creators didn't know their crush was also a fan, so it's kind of like teens in high school who have a crush on each other but don't want to reveal it, so they never know. Ugh, the mutual pining! Good trope, for sure. If you get married to Limbo, you know we approve. Don't worry, you guys will be the first to know that my marriage is real. I had a period of time... I had a delusion, I guess I should say, back in Kawaii, where, you know how, some of the bigger corporations, they get to have, like, those, like, big fancy 3D events where they have, like, special guests come in to surprise the person celebrating their 3D, and it's, like, celebrities of some kind. Either, like, creators that the VTuber likes, or like in some cases you get like really cool appearances from like a Seiyu or something. I always had the dream that they would get Ken to give us a special greeting to me as Limbo, and then I would probably just die. You'd literally just see my 3D model go onto the floor and never get up again, I think. That was always a personal delusion that I had, and it would probably never happen. Never, ever. But boy, would I die if so. We go from that stream and appearance to the very first VTuber 3D funeral. Let's go! Let's go! It's not that different from when fans get celebrities to make videos on Cameo. I suppose so, but like it's more... it is like assigned video messages that like the VTuber reacts to, but there's like a different vibe to it, especially because, you know, there aren't really any Japanese Seiyu or anybody like that on a place like Cameo. Different kinds of strings have to be pulled to make particular kinds of appearances happen. But also, I kind of wonder if the culture is shifting towards like VTubers being in relationships or getting married or whatever, because... Now don't take this the wrong way. Don't take this the wrong way. But I feel like VTubers are starting to skew older. And so by that, I feel like people are kind of starting to understand that as a VTuber matures, it's going to lead to like life progression. Whatever that looks like for the particular VTuber. So I wonder if that's why people are starting to open up more to that idea of like life stuff happening behind the scenes. But VTubers are forever 19? Yes, by all accounts. But like, if we're going to break kayfabe for a second and talk about the person behind the VTuber, I do feel like a lot of, especially people that have been VTubing for a long time, have been getting older. And so it's kind of leading to this understanding of like, well, they can't truly maintain the like young and single lifestyle forever. Not everyone, obviously. Like, I'm not saying that like everybody is going to just go off and get married or what have you, because I don't think that's in the cards for me. But I think that people are more open to that idea and are like seeing it as less of a stigma now because of that understanding that people are getting older. Can't believe Yuno died of limbo. So true. Limbo balls. I'm probably wrong, but I feel like the Western community wants to avoid the JP toxicity when it comes to this. I feel like maybe Western audiences are just more used to it because they're also used to streamers like... IRL streamers, I guess I should say. They're more used to the idea of like streamers and content creators having lives, I guess. I think part of why it's as big of a stigma as it is in the JP side is because it is like breaking that immersion of like the anime character on the screen being like a real person or whatever. I think like there was kind of that expectation that that line would never be like crossed or like spoken of or whatever. But I feel like the medium has kind of shifted away from like the character playing in VTubing to becoming just like people with VTuber avatars. I thought female IRL streamers also had to deal with fans not wanting them to be in relationships. It depends on the market. I think if a female content creator is making a certain kind of content and it attracts a majority male audience, then they might feel a bit more pressure to hide it. I think conversely, if it's like a girl who's like making a lot of cozy content for girls and like their audience is predominantly female, or like if they have a predominantly like queer audience, I think that it's less likely for there to be pressure. But it kind of depends on how the girl markets herself and how the audience perceives her. And then also, I think if you're just open about it more from the beginning, that would lead to things being generally better, because you could weed out a lot of those bad apples way sooner. But that's just me. I don't know. I kind of think it's to reinforce boundaries, although fans are usually respectful of information that's been given to them when it's been announced. That is fair. I agree. One of the habits we've inherited from idol culture, which is sort of don't ask, don't tell policy around relationships, so it's not exclusive to those spaces. Yeah. I also think that that's a valid approach too, though, because, like, and I've said this before as well, I don't really think that relationship status should have a bearing on the content that somebody makes or the content that somebody consumes. Like, I feel like relationship status should just kind of be secondary, but I do understand why some people who get invested at a certain parasocial level would then feel weird going back to, like, certain kinds of content after they find out. But I also feel like if somebody came out, like, right from the gates and was like, hey, I have a boyfriend, I'm in a relationship, but I like to roleplay and I will still make content that is GFE, that is aimed towards you guys, I feel like that would also be okay with me, in the very least, because at least I know that, like, they've established this ground rule or something. Shruggy. I think some of the more negative responses have been when a hardcore GFE content creator comes out saying they've been in a relationship. That's true. I think if you find out that someone who you might have had that sort of parasocial attraction to, and you find out that during that time they've been in a relationship, like from then up until present day, I can see that being kind of heartbreaking. The thing I don't like is when people then lash out because of that heartbreak. I think if you can just have, like, a clean break and quietly leave, then that's your prerogative. That's, like, your choice to make. Don't make it the VTubers' problem, though, or, like, the content creators' problem in the wider scheme of things. Because in the end, they are not responsible for each person's individual feelings on the matter. It's sad, but it's probably better to just, like, quietly cut yourself off. And I guess that's why I was nervous about checking the comments on Shiki's tweet, because I was just like, oh, I don't want to know what's in there. I want to believe that it's positive, but I don't know. I get both perspectives. I get that in a lot of ways it's none of our business, but I also get feeling lied to if you're engaging with someone in a romantic way and find out they've been dating. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Would be funny to see the opposite of hiding a boyfriend, that being someone lying about being in a relationship when they're actually single. I mean, why would I be lying about being in a relationship with Limbo Fitzgerald? Obviously, it's very committed. We love each other very much. Onigashima has always been code for New Sieg. Silly. I prefer the upfront, both because boundary and a little bit of I know this GFE works because actual GF. That's true. The credibility that comes from knowing that she's in a relationship makes the GFE hit harder. Thumbs up. PQ Page is sending a cease and desist. I start literally sobbing like, no, please. I'm just kidding. Honestly, they would be... It would be very strange if they sent a cease and desist now when I've spent so much of my brand establishing myself as the Limbo Fitzgerald lover. And that's probably why they even approached me to play Busta Phillips too. If the VTuber does GFE and is in a relationship, does that count as NTR? I guess if their partner listens to the GFE content. But I feel like, largely speaking, there's probably a reason why most VTubers don't date other VTubers. And it's because they just want to have someone who's, like, normal. Who's, like, not involved in the space. Because I personally don't know how I would feel if I found out that my partner decided to watch my content. I would just be like, why are you doing that? Hey, that's my work. Don't go there. It's like if you had a girlfriend who like showed up at your workplace to like say hi to you and watch you work. You know what I mean? Like that just feels kind of weird. You don't really want to have those two worlds cross in that way, like while you're on duty. You know, confirming VTubers aren't normal. You know what I mean? I just mean someone like not in the space. I want Limbo to be real and my partner, the Monkey Paw Curls. He's a 24/7 content creator. Now, see, the thing that would be fucked up about that is that of all the options for what Limbo would be, he'd probably be a fitness content creator. Or he'd be one of those people that's like actual lawyer reacts to Law and Order episodes or something. The second one I would prefer. I don't think I could handle it if he was a fitness creator. Lawyer react Andy. He would be though. And I think it'd be very funny. Although I believe within canon, it is implied that Scarecrow is a content creator of some kind. He like makes YouTube videos, I think, and does Let's Plays. And Limbo is the only other person who's been featured on his channel. So, technically speaking, he has already had a little bit of experience doing content creator stuff. I don't remember what they did. This was like a random like fan disc thing forever ago. I can't recall. The fitness creator on Instagram while doing YouTube lawyer reactions. So true. He would be double dipping. Yuno's BF has donated a Nakasupa. Dang, Smexy line. I like this GFE thing. Yuno could buzz. That's so true. I feel like that would probably happen to me realistically. If by then I even have super chats re-enabled. That'd be very funny. I'm at my wedding and the officiants just taking their sweet ass time reading the vows, so I am here. Hi, hi! Hello! You're at a wedding, that's awesome. What's happening? I just got here. We're shitposting about if I ever had a partner and the kind of shenanigans that they would get up to. Both about Limbo being a partner and then also just like a generic BF in general.
The Oni lights guide you back to me.
KJ, thank you for being a member for 20 months of the emote tier. They say she's my wife, but her thigh is hidden. What the fuck? That sounds sus. I don't know if that's actually your wife. Would you ban your partner from chat to force them to lurk? I would just be banking on the idea that they wouldn't be watching me. And I would hope that they never speak up in chat. I would just be like, don't breathe in my chat. Don't watch my streams either. If you have me on, mute it. Like, just don't consume the content. That would just make him feel like he's missing out. No. Make them an emote. I'll make an emote specifically for them that they can just post in chat, and that's the only thing they're ever allowed to post. Also, I need to BRB real fast. I have to refill my water. It is apparently very hot in Onigashima today because it is melting super fast. I need more ice. I'm dying. It's hot. Hello. I've returned. Refilled my water. We're all good now. Yippee, yippee. Ah, you spooked me. Whoa. Yuno Hanaki jump scare. Whoa. Crazy. Okaeri, thank you. Did you add cucumber for extra hydration? Ugh, I wish I had cucumber. I totally would. God, I love cucumber water. I'm glad that you remember this factoid about me. I love cucumber water. Yum, yum, yum. Just got Nylister. Yay! That's awesome. Let's freaking go. She's alright as a unit. I don't know if they've buffed her in recent times, but she's okay. It's the #1 Yuno fact. That should not be the #1 Yuno fact. I'm pretty sure that there are several other facts that would be better off being #1. But I do so love it. Sally, no, but she's a collection piece. Whoopee! Safe to assume you haven't gone grocery shopping yet. Yeah. I had to finish paying my bills today, so the bank account's not looking primed for grocery shopping. Bank account's not looking too good for grocery shopping. I have to do some budgeting, especially because I still have to actually put in the orders for the commissions I need for my assets. One of my bills ended up being more expensive than I thought it was gonna be today, so I was like, I felt pain as I paid it. And I was just like, well, I can kind of understand how this might have occurred, so I will have to just live with this. The consequences of mine actions. Life is lifing again. Yeah, but it's okay. It's part of what I was like doom posting about earlier. Well, I didn't doom post, but I was like dooming a lot. Hitomi had to like bap me upside the head metaphorically over chat so that I would stop being depressed. But I was just like, ugh. I've been budgeting very well, but it's also just like, man. I have been making plans and trying to get things handled because I have to make sure I start getting everything set up to be paid for like this month, ideally. So that way I can give artists and everybody time to work on stuff through September. My electric bill this month. Oh, how did you know it was the electric bill? God, my electric bill. Why was it so big? I feel like I didn't do anything different between this month and last month. By this month, I mean July. I don't feel like I did anything different, but my freaking bill said otherwise. Air conditioning? Is it air conditioning? I feel like I ran it the same amount that I did in June. I don't know. It was kind of weird. Did you stream more than usual? No, if anything, it should have been higher in June because I was streaming a lot then. And I had the AC running the whole time, so that's why I'm so confused. And then the AC was running for the same amount in July. I don't know. It's very interesting. Sorry, I stutter sometimes. It was going to offer like an upcharge if I wanted to actually see like the true breakdown of what I had done during the month that caused the increase. So I just didn't bother with any of that. And I was just like, frick you. So I guess I just won't care. Am I nervous? No, it's just sometimes when I get really heated or passionate, my brain can't keep up with what I want to say. My mouth can't keep up with what my brain wants to say. And so I go as I try to get it out, and I have to take another second to comprehend first. July was stupid hot and my insulation is bad, doesn't exist. Is that it? Does insulation have an impact on electricity? Secret boyfriend lost it on gambling. I don't have a boyfriend. I well and truly do not. Do not come up with these delusions. It does, actually? Really? Oh, I see you. Well, I don't actually know what the situation is with my installation. I don't think it's a problem, but maybe that is part of why. Turning off and on the AC raises the cost a little. Most people don't know since it has to push a little harder each time. Really? That's crazy. Not a boyfriend. Does Limbo not mean anything? Limbo's my husband. That's different. Before Yuno tells us she's married. I'm not! I am not! Also, my name is Yuno, not Yuna. I am not. If it doesn't go back down later, you could check for bad wiring. That could make wasted electricity drive up your bill. Okay, okay, okay. I'll have to keep an eye out this month then. Limbo the basement husband. Don't call him basement husband. Not gambling related. Have you ever seen a magician performance? Not in person, but I've seen like videos of magicians performing before. Changed her name from Yuna to Yuno when she got married. I mean, I guess technically you can. I was about to say, don't you only change last name? But I guess by all accounts, you could also change your first name at the same time. You're getting your name changed at the office. Technically speaking. Yuna was never an option out of my names, though, funny enough. The true deep lore is that I wanted to be named Yunon. Only really watched Penn and Teller videos so far, and it's always fun. Yeah! Hitome really likes Penn and Teller stuff. But we've watched videos of, like, other, like, magicians and illusionists before. Yunonon. But yeah, the initial plan, I think I've said this before, management wanted me to have just one name, as in just like only a first name, because most Oni only have like a one-word name. They don't have surnames. So they were trying to think of a name that I could choose that would be like snappy for like a one-word name. And they had been going down this like huge list of a bunch of Japanese names, and then Yunon was like thrown in, and I was like, I like that. And they were like, oh yeah, you lit up. Because they could hear me gasp audibly during the call. It was just like, oh, you like that one. So I was like, yes. So it was initially going to be Yunon. Because I really liked it. And then... it was decided that that one couldn't really work because... they thought that Yunon would have been hard for people to say for Western audiences. They thought you guys wouldn't be able to say the N part. They wanted the name to be easier to say, so the N dropped off and it became Yuno. And then they were like, oh, but we really want you to incorporate the fact that you're an Oni into your name. Like, they wanted to use the Oni kanji. So they decided to give me a last name, at least when they were like ideating. It was always going to be something key. They doubted our weeb cred. I guess so, yeah. I guess they just thought that no one would be able to say Yunon. My favorite VTuber from Hana Mizuki, Yunan? Yunin? Yunonin? Did you ever watch Penn and Teller's bullshit? I've seen clips of bullshit. I've never seen the whole thing. The jokes and puns we could have had, you none of your business. You're so real for that. Them Yunnan gals quite silly, From Hanamiki, I tell you what. Perfect with Kea and Ran. Never mind, I won't bother. You're doing your best, man. You're going through it. Kea and Ran. Non-negotiable literacy. It's all good, bro. The world is against me. Your keyboard's against you. That much is true for sure. R.I.P. I can't remember who said it, but one of the girls, when we discovered that we were going to be going indie, I think someone had even said that, like, this would be a good chance for everybody to figure out if they want to, like, rebrand and change to their original, like, chosen names or whatever. And in my head, I was just like, I guess that means I could rebrand and go to Yunon. Or I could, like, pick another name if I felt like that suited me more. But then I also was just like, but I'm so used to everyone calling me Yuno Hanaki, like, full name all the time. It would be very strange to change it to something else. Yuma, Kayla, and Jog. Don't call her Jog. That's so messed up. YC, thank you so much for being a member for 8 months of Shadowfire. Dropping by to send positivity to the most witty and intelligent Oni. Don't forget you're amazing, you know. Take care and be well. Thank you. That's very sweet. I don't know what to say. I'm not used to being given kindness during an OniMon. Thank you. That's very sweet. Ran is past tense, so should be jogged. Not like this. Why are you being mean to my wife? Rebrand to Yunon and we finally start calling you Yuchan consistently. That would be so funny. Just like, finally, now I actually get the nicknames I like. I've been in this tower for months and there's this strangely feminine dragon. Can I get some tips? Can you compliment how white and clean her teeth are and tell her that you detect a hint of minty freshness? I think that will make her very happy. Also, remind her that you always knew that she was a girl dragon. And that's cool. Be a donkey, that's another step. No, it's a dragon, what are you on about? No, if you're nice to the dragon, she will be nice to you. Make her waffles. Also a good answer. Make her waffles. Have to go to work, unfortunately. Have fun with OniMon. Thank you! Good luck at work. Obviously not, otherwise I would not be in this tower. Well, have you ever tried? Did you see the size of her hoard? Yeah, is her hoard nice? Maybe it's worth staying. Maybe it's worth it. You can power wash her hoard in Power Wash Simulator. Right, they do have Shrek DLC, don't they? All this stuff I have to go through whenever I eventually play Power Wash, which I do really want to get to. But I promised Hitomi that if we were going to play it, we would do it with co-op. What if the dragon was Kaya all along? Well, the dragon in Shrek was red. Red pink. I'm waiting. We need to have time. She's so busy with work. We'd have to pick a good day that we would consistently be able to stream it. What are they washing off the hoard? Ashes from her fire breath. Probably other miscellaneous bits of, like, dirt and dust because the castle isn't really being visited by people that often. Gotta make the gold shiny. Shiny! I don't know how that song actually goes. I haven't watched Moana in a long time. I only remember the sound bit with the shiny. And tower dust, spiders everywhere. So true. Gotta get rid of the spiders. Nobody likes spiders. Well, I should say nobody likes spiders on their hoard of goods. There are some people out there who surprisingly actually do like spiders. Not me. Jackbox Pack 11 comes out in the last 25 of this year. Trivia Murder Party 3 has no release date, but it's probably within a year. I thought it was confirmed to be October. I thought it was gonna be fall at the very least because it's like camp themed. And I feel like Halloween style like camp makes sense for Trivia Murder Party. So like fall camp vibes. I know someone who has a couple of pet jumping spiders. Oh my goodness. I mean, as long as they're happy. I could never, though. Cheerio was delayed in July. No! Nightmare! That's sad. Dude at work mentioned he had like 8+ tarantulas, and I thought, well, we're never hanging out. Oh my god, 8? More than 8? That's a lot. This massive fat 4-legged spider just jumped on me. No, no, don't touch me. I don't mind insects. Insects can exist away from me, but the minute an insect encroaches upon mine territory or tries to land upon mine body, I'm just like, I think the fuck not. You have to go now. And then I destroy them. Seven-legged boy here earlier. Man lost a leg defending my house. He has a life pass. You know what? If he's defending the house, hell yeah. There's a spider in my bathroom, like hanging above my shower, and I'm just like, well, I guess you can stay there if you want. If you want to get rid of the bugs, that's cool. But it also makes me nervous about going into a shower. Except mosquitoes, because fuck them. Yeah, fuck them. We don't need mosquitoes. What about Magirak then? Magirak is a Pokemon. I feel like Pokemon are an exception to my rule about bugs, because I think Pokemon are cuter. When a spider jumps on you, you turn Shakespearean. Yeah. I'm just like, ugh. What is this creature laying upon my leg? Got these cool giant barking 4-legged spiders. Are you talking about dogs? Boy, I love dogs. Has a spider washboarded? No! That's so sad. You're gonna be adopting a Joltik? You're so right! Joltik are so small and cute! They're just tiny little guys. They're just like, hello! And I think that they are precious. Oh, you see, he was talking about cats. Does your cat bark? I wouldn't be surprised. Cats are capable of that level of trolling, I am sure. Meh, meh. Approximation of barking. Forsooth, it is the arachnid and I am bamboozled. Dith. Very true. Until you start looking up hyper-realistic drawings of Pokemon. Well, why would I do that? If Pokemon are real to begin with, that means that we are in anime, and there's no such thing as hyper-realism. If Pokemon were to become real within the next, like, year or so, what would be the first Pokemon that you guys would want to adopt? If you know Pokemon. I know that there's someone in chat who will complain about me bringing up Pokemon again, but I was just thinking about it just now, because in my head, my first instinct would be to go adopt a Skitty. Says the anime girl. Yeah, well, that's the thing, too. Hyperrealism is just me. I'm anime. I'm already real. 100 Eevee, you're so based for this. You gotta get in while it's hot, because if Pokemon were only just made new, then it's probably before the price hike up that's going to happen with Eevee, because Eevee are going to be so in demand. Eevee or Rockruff? Rockruff would be so cute! You're so right. Talk about prime puppy. Pikachu 100%. Finally, somebody putting respect on Pikachu's name. I also would probably want a Pikachu. Just meeting expectations. There it is. Would you evolve your Eevee at 11 p.m. to get an Umbreon? I think so. I like Umbreon a lot. But since Espeon's my favorite evolution, I'd probably have to wait to evolve my Eevee in the morning. The daytime. And I'd have to make sure my Eevee also doesn't learn any fairy moves and accidentally become a Sylveon. But I'd probably be adopting a Skitty for sure. Because that's my baby. Snorlax used him to block the bridge. Now it's a toll bridge. Pay me the Pokeflute tax. Aw, man. So you want to be paid by having people give you a Pokeflute, or by having people play their Pokeflute at your bridge? Because you're not really going to be getting any money out of that. You're just going to be getting little doot 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 doot. And then they're going to battle your Snorlax. To be real though, Ditto is my favorite Pokemon. That's actually cute. And it'd be pretty useful, because Ditto could transform into literally any other Pokemon. I have the Pokeflute, pay to play. How did you get your hands on the Pokeflute that early? Gotta have every evolution and a ton of extra Eevee in case they decide to invent more evolutions. I like how you said 100, and there's like, what, 8 evolutions total? So then you have one that you like intend to have keep it as an Eevee forever, and then there's like, at that point, basically 91. 91 other Eevee. There aren't even that many types. My fave Pokemon are all round. Spheel, Solosis, I need nothing else. Ah, so you have a house of the round guys. Anyone who comes over and they just see your Pokemon rolling on the floor. Dare I say, vibes. I love that, to be honest. Exactly, and Ditto is like the only Pokemon I can draw. I actually had a how to draw Pokemon book for Johto Pokemon specifically. I think it teaches you how to draw every single Pokemon from Johto. And I remember nothing from it besides how to draw Meryl. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I learned how to draw Meryl from that book. I drew Meryl a lot. I think I drew Chikorita a couple of times too. Maybe some of the others a little bit less frequently. But I drew Meryl a lot. Peekaboo. Yeah, Peekaboo. Mine baby. 100 Eevee cuddle pile, probably best sleep ever. That would be very nice. Very cozy. So many little babies. Oh, that is very cute. Heck yeah. So many Pokemon just seem like they would be so cozy to cuddle. Very huggable. Man is going to get 20 different jobs and take the Eevee to see if there's new evolutions. Factory-on, Reactory-on, Truckery-on, McDonald-on. Fast Foodie-on. Any teammate has a pet Drake named Peekaboo. That's cute! Peekaboo. A little baby. I think I'd probably only have 3 Pokemon. I think it'd be Skitty initially for sure. My Eevee would become an Espeon. Chikorita, and would probably stay a Chikorita. I don't think I would evolve it to a Meganium ever. I think Chikorita would just be my baby alongside my Skitty. I don't really think I'd have any other Pokemon. That's the vibe that I would go with, I think. Meganium is so cool, though. No, I love Meganium. I love the whole line of Chikorita. But I think if I had a Chikorita, I would want it to stay a small little baby forever. I would just want it to stay baby. Also, the place that I live, I think it would be very difficult to keep a Meganium happy. A pet Chikorita is cute and canonically smells sweet. Yeah, they're little babies. So my house would also smell nice. If I was like going to go on a trainer journey though, like if simultaneously we made Pokemon real and then everyone could become a Pokemon trainer if they wanted, then maybe I would like train it up into a Meganium. But if there was no intention of me going out, like if I was still just going to be a VTuber but also I just have pet Pokemon, then why would I why would I evolve it? I would just keep baby. That's why the only Evo that I have is a friendship Evo. What are the names of the not Pokeball Pokemon again? You mean a partner? Like one that you don't keep in a Pokeball because you're just like hanging out with it? I guess partner is the closest equivalent to what you're talking about. Evolution is foolish. I'm sorry, what? Are you saying you just don't believe in evolution? The ones that look like Pokeballs. Oh, the Voltorb line. So Voltorb and Electrode. More round guys. Kinda disappointed in their shinies. Same. Lacking in an opportunity to make them look more like one of the other Pokeballs. Just checked, my Snorlax would cost about $530 in rice per meal. Hope he likes jelly donuts. Snorlax will eat literally anything. Fungus and Among Us? The mushrooms. Who's that Pokemon? Electrode! No, it's a Jigglypuff seen from above. Truly the most troll answer of all time. I remember watching that episode and being like, what? How could you have possibly known that? Crazy. Okay. Very loud car outside. Or motorcycle. Could be either one. That was very noisy. Did you do a draw Pokemon from memory stream? I feel like you did. I did something like that with Kaya. That was one of our anniversary streams in October. Didn't hear it, only heard you. Well, that's good. It was just very loud for me. I'm glad that my noise cancellation, ever since I adjusted all my microphone settings, has made it so that you guys don't hear any of the outside noises that I do. Because they are annoying. But I am glad to prevent that. That was great. I liked that, and when Isla did it, louder than the neighbors? Kind of. That's just because of the vehicle being in close proximity, I guess. I live in a very quiet neighborhood in Onigashima, but there is like one fuck-ass person near here that like has a very loud car and an equally like very loud motorcycle. So sometimes whenever they come tearing through the neighborhood, it is also usually at this time of night. It's just like really noisy, and I'm just like, you tone it down, please? I have some hyper Pokemon fan friends, and they got a kick of trying to guess the Pokemon by your guys' drawings. I'm not good at drawing. So that was probably extra hard. I'll make sure to tone down my Tesla. Do Tesla make that loud of noises? I don't actually know. I've never seen one in the wild. What's on the agenda this week? Okay. As a quick rundown, I suppose. Tomorrow is a chorus upload, a group cover of a Love Live song. It is Aurora Flower. It's in English also. The waiting room was just posted earlier. They don't? Okay, so you're trolling me. But the waiting room is here. It's not on my channel, obviously. It's on the channel of the organizer. That's at 5:45 p.m. EST. Yes, yes, yes. I'm kind of excited. I feel like I did pretty good recording my lines for this one. It's been in the works for a little while. Quite a while. But I'm glad that it's finally coming out. Yay! So that's tomorrow. Wednesday is usual off day, so there won't actually be anything happening then. And then Thursday we've got 2 streams. The first one is Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger is first in the morning at the same time it was last week, and then in the evening I got a code from directly from Wholesome Direct. Well, not Wholesome Direct, Wholesome Games, I guess. They were giving out creator codes for a game that they were like working to help promote from an indie dev. And so they gave out codes to people who applied, and I got one. So we get to do a showcase stream of that game called Make Room. It's a like cozy sandbox room decorator, house decorator type thing. So we'll just be like cozily decorating some rooms and houses and like making cute little aesthetic things happen in the sandbox. Yeah. Friday is a sponsored watch along of debuts for Promisu EN and their talents, which I believe are calling themselves On Guard, EN Guard. I'm pretty sure it's On Guard. They're all dragon girls. I didn't actually realize that until before. Recently, I should say. But they are all dragon girls. We'll be watching their debut relay that day. And then Saturday is members. Members only. We'll be playing golf with your friends for the first time in a while. So, get your hands on some golf if you want to golf. I also have a stream planned for Sunday already, but we're like not we're not far enough into the week for me to justify talking about my plans for Sunday. But I do have a plan for Sunday's stream already too. Dragon girls, I clicked immediately. Yeah, they're all dragons. And I think it's okay if I say this as well, but I believe that the focus for Promisu EN is that they are all role players and ASM artists. So they'll be doing a lot of like roleplay type content and ASMR stuff. Also, they are doing a bit of spicy content on like alternative services. If you're interested in that kind of thing. So they're spicy dragons too. You should keep an eye out for that. But yeah, big focus on role-playing and ASMR was one of the things I was told to highlight, so yeah. That will be fun. They seem nice so far. And then, yeah. So then it's members, and then Sunday we have another stream planned that's another, I mean, I guess I can spoil it, but it's another game showcase of something. But I can't tell you what the something is until closer to the date. And then, yeah. It's crazy. August is going by so fast. I have to get my ass in gear so I can start prepping for debut. Ah! Crazy, 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 crazy. I have, like, decided some other stuff related to the debut, though, so hopefully I'll be able to get everything done on time. I'm stressed about it a little bit. I'm stressed about it a little bit, but I think it should be okay. I think. Yeah. And anniversary? Oh, God. No, see, debut is going to be happening on anniversary, so it's both of them are combined together, okay? Don't make me do something else. Don't make me do something else for anniversary. I'm not strong enough. I'm just a little guy.
May the Oni lights guide you.
Coleman, thank you for gifting a membership. Thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, yes, yes. But yeah, there's only so much I can do in terms of like getting stuff ready for an anniversary separate from debut. Debut is kind of just gonna be the biggest part of the celebration. And we'll have a pretty busy week because the way it's looking, my debut anniversary is going to fall on oh god. I believe our anniversary is technically the 14th of October. I think. I think I'm the only one who's going to be celebrating it. My anniversary would be on the 14th of October, so that would be a Tuesday. And then I guess we'll be going right into like 2.0 the next day. So you'll actually get a rare Wednesday stream. And then I believe the 16th is when Pokemon ZA comes out, so we might do a stream for that as part of it, as part of debut week, re-debut week. We'll figure out other stuff to do to celebrate. It's gonna be a busy week. Assuming I can even get Pokemon ZA at that time. I want to. Desperately. It looks so fun. But it'll be an interesting week at the very least. I don't think, well, I honestly don't know, because there's a chance that she might come back and do something, but I'm not sure if Kaya is planning to do anything to celebrate anniversary in October. The last time we talked about it, we were talking about Mialoon's anniversary being later. So, if anything, we might go more all out for the Mialoon anniversary. We may or may not be cooking up a little something something. If we can make things happen for it on time. Fingers crossed. But that would be Mialoon anniversary, which means that wouldn't be until December. And like I said, I don't know if Kaya is planning to do anything for our original debut anniversary or not. I don't know. A little bit of cooking might be happening. Just a little bit of cooking in the kitchen. Just a little bit of preparation. Just a little bit of activity. It's exciting. There's lots of cool stuff going on in the background. I be cooking. I be preparing. Cooking biscuits. No. Just cooking content. Content, baby. Believing I was locked in a staring contest for a second. Yeah, sorry, I was just looking right at the camera. I was spiking the lens. Hungry for biscuits and chicken now? Ugh, I feel you. I want, like, really good fried chicken. So bad. I don't know what my criteria is for good fried chicken, but it is something that I have been craving for a while, and I desire it so bad. Cooking and no smoke? Yeah. No smoke, just yummy food. But it helps that I'm cooking things with other people doing a lot of the work. I am mostly just part of the things. I am not fully responsible for cooking the things, and I feel like that makes all the difference when you are me and you cannot cook. Once I had Korean fried chicken, I'll never go back to American. Ugh, I hear so many good things about Korean fried chicken, but I've never had it. I crave. Got a $7 fill-up box from KFC for lunch. It held up to its name. Ooh, that sounds yummy. For me, KFC is always hit or miss. Like, sometimes it's really good, and sometimes it's really bad. I feel like there's no in-between. There's never a time where I've gotten KFC and it's just been eh. It's either really good or bleh, bleh, ugh, yuck. Popeyes over KFC. I only tried Popeyes recently, like, a little while ago. I never really had it before because there wasn't one near me in Onigashima, but now there is. I can kind of understand the appeal. But I think it's just a little bit too far to warrant me ordering it. Because sometimes when it comes cold, it's not as good. Never had Korean fried chicken, but konbini fried chicken in Japan was transcendent. Ah, the fami chiki? So I have heard. Just got back from the auto concert in Toronto. Nice! I hope you had fun. Did you get the spicy chicken sandy? No, I got the original chicken sandy. And they also have, like, wraps right now. I really like chicken wraps, so I got that. I really like Popeyes' mashed potatoes with, like, the seasoned gravy, though. That gravy is banger. That gravy, really good. I like it way better than the KFC gravy. So good. Also, when I tried it, they had the seasonal mango lemonade, and that was really yummy. I discovered I like mango. Their biscuits are really good. I haven't had their biscuits. I have to try, like, a proper fried chicken, like, meal from them instead of just the, like, the sandwich and the wrap. But it was so good. It's just a little expensive. A little bit too much of an indulgence, I suppose. But it is quite yummy, and I do still think about those mashed potatoes because that gravy was so bomb. The biscuit you get free with the tendy combo. I should try their tendies. I have to know if it's as good as the other kinds of chicken, like the stuff that they put in the sandwich and the wrap. But I really like that wrap, too. Ugh. Stop! I'm gonna get hungry. I'm gonna get hungry! This is so messed up. Why would you do this to me? Do you hate me? How do you feel about Cane's? I haven't had Cane's either. That was another one that wasn't open in Onigashima for a long time. I think it literally only just opened up like last month. I still haven't gotten a chance to order it. I hear good things about it though, and I hear people get like addicted to the sauce. Whenever I watch like the occasional mukbang video, whenever people are eating Raising Cane's, they always have the sauce in like one of the large drink cups. And I'm just like, huh? That's too much sauce. Aren't all chicken places giving the same chicken, biscuits, and mashed potatoes and gravy nowadays? I don't think so. I think they're actually vastly different. But I also don't have as much variety because it used to be like only KFC near me. We only recently started getting access to like further away restaurants on my delivery apps. Cane's is very mid, only white meat. Well, I like white meat, so that wouldn't bother me too much. Cane's is carried by their sauce. I'm inclined to believe you, because again, most of the time when I see people eating it, they're always with like a giant cup of the sauce, and they like make the chicken swim in it. As someone who doesn't really like it to be super saucy, I feel like I probably wouldn't end up liking the chicken if it really has to be carried by sauce. But like the toast that they provide with their tender meals seems kind of yummy. Might be same chicken, but they season and bread it themselves. Biscuit recipes will vary. I also think that the potatoes and gravy recipes are probably different, because like I said, I am not big on the KFC gravy, but when I had the Popeyes gravy, it was really good. But I think they advertise it as having like a seasoned gravy or like some sort of like special flavoring to it. I don't remember. Do enjoy a place that has a menu of 4 things. That's true. Keep it simple, and you know that the simplicity means that like they've perfected how every item turns out. I can understand the vibe, the appeal. You have to try a few of the big ones people talk about, but for my money, Popeyes has the best tasting fried chicken. Noted. Noted, noted, noted. I will have to consider all of my options if I ever get the chance to order chicken again in the next little while. We will see. God, I say that, but I'm still like desperately thinking about chicken right now. No, why do I have to want why do I have to want chicken so bad right now? I keep hearing good things about Jollibee, but there are none near me. Wasn't there like a poll that went out where it was decided that the best fast food place to get fried chicken right now is Jollibee? I could have sworn they won like some poll or another recently, and I was shocked. I was just like, really? Because I'm in the same boat. Definitely no Jollibee near me. But I have heard good things about it, so I wouldn't necessarily disagree. Crazy stuff. There are places I want to try, but they're up in LA and I don't want to drive that far for food. Yeah, you'd have to make like a true day trip out of it to justify. I also can't really see myself going super far just to get a particular food. Sounds like a waste of time. Think about chicken, try not to. Still think about chicken, drool. I'm literally thinking about getting like Wendy's chicken nuggets or something right now because my brain's just like, I'm crazy. I'm literally crazy right now. Ever heard of Dave's Hot Chicken? Never really seen one. I have heard of it. That's another one I see around a lot. But I don't think there's any near me. I don't necessarily know if I would enjoy the hot chicken vibe either. Also, crinkle fries. Crinkle fries are usually a downgrade to a place, in my opinion. I'm not a big crinkle fry liker. Dave's is alright. Still gotta try Taco Bell chicken nuggets. Are they still there? I know they were like talking about how they have like a new fried chicken that you can get in like certain tacos or burritos or whatever, but do they still have the... They still have the nuggets? Because I wanted to try those too. I liked the idea of them having the like breaded coating with the chip dust. Tortilla chip breading. Oh, they've changed it to strips now, it looks like. At least on the menu I'm looking at. I guess the strips are kind of the same thing, but it's not the right, like, shape to be a nugget. Shoestring fries, #1. #2, skin on. What? I have never heard someone say shoestring fries, #1. What in the world? Bone in or boneless? I used to be a boneless truther. But, like, admittedly, nowadays, when I get chicken, it's usually bone in. Or it's, like, kind of a weird mix where it's, like... Some of the chicken that I get is boneless, and then some of it is bone in. Waffle fries. Are you a McDonald's fry enjoyer? I'm a McDonald's fry truther. I know people are, like... starting to think that it's no longer good. And I do agree that it feels like McDonald's changed how they make their fries, so I don't think that they are as good as they used to be. But if you order on a good day, they still always hit the best. Meanwhile, I feel like the overall ratio of whether or not your fries turn out good at another restaurant, the batting average is just too low. McDonald's has just enough consistency where they're pretty good, where I am more willing to vote them as #1. Meanwhile, everywhere else, they might be #1 if they could make their fries a little bit better more consistently. But that's just me. But also, like, it depends on the location you order from, too, because there's 2 McDonald's that are pretty close to me in Onigashima. If I order from one of them, the food quality is always going to be less good than from the other McDonald's. So I have to order specifically from that McDonald's location, and the food will pretty consistently be a banger. Then there's also a 3rd McDonald's that's a bit further away, but that one is open 24/7, and that one also has very consistently good fry quality. That's the one that Oni Mama swore by. She would always want to try and get food from there if we could. When it came to getting McDonald's. I McDonald's fries, nuggets with honey mustard and buffalo sauce. Fair enough. Understandable. My chat put me on the quarter pounder burger. I tried it once just to see, because like pretty much everyone was saying that that was one of their go-tos in their McDonald's orders, and I was like, oh, I've never tried it before. I might as well see if it's good. I really like it. I've been converted. It's so good. I can't go back to the normal double cheeseburger. That used to be what I get. But now I get the quarter pounder. Yeah, the quarter pounder with cheese. Now I'm stuck getting the quarter pounder because I can't go back. It's so good. It just feels so much juicier and more flavorful than the double cheeseburger. Time to go double quarter pounder. Doesn't that just mean that it's a half pounder? You guys are trying to fill me with beef. I don't like batter dip nuggets, so McDonald's is always bottom nugget. That's understandable. If it's just not the style of nugget that you prefer, I can see why it would be low. I like McDonald's nuggets. I don't think that they are the best nuggets in the business. I actually quite like Wendy's nuggets in comparison. Wendy's burgers suck ass, but Wendy's nuggets go hard. We need to make sure our Oni is fed. Yeah, with lots of beef, apparently. At first, I thought the bun to beef ratio was whack, but I've come around to the extra beef. Are you saying for the quarter pounder or the half pounder? Or the double quarter pounder, I guess. I do kind of agree that I thought it was a bit too much food at first. For the quarter pounder, yeah. When I was first eating it, I was like, I don't feel like this is too much food. I don't know, I die. But then I was able to finish it, and I was like, you know what? Actually, it's not that bad. It's really good. I feel like it's better when it's fresher, though. That is definitely a burger you can't let get too cold. If you get a half pounder, you gotta double the cheese. So true. I think the cheese is really what carries the burger sometimes. Chick-fil-A nugs are terrible in value. Agreed. I also just think they're overhyped. The waffle fries are okay, but I just think that Chick-fil-A overall is just kind of overhyped. I don't understand why people love it so much. I don't go out of my way to order it ever. The only time I have had Chick-fil-A in recent memory was like literally Christmas, because somebody brought a bunch of the Chick-fil-A nuggets to our like appetizer Christmas dinner. That was the only time I've had it in recent memory. The time before that was like several years ago, like pre-Panini, I think, when I was hanging out with one of my IRL friends, and Chick-fil-A was one of the only things in close proximity. And then we had like a, not really an argument, but we had like a passive-aggressive conversation with their parents about the ethics of ordering from Chick-fil-A. And I was just like, I didn't sign up for this conversation on this particular day. Please help me. I ask for extra cheese depending how much I'm craving something savory. That's fair. If I have the option to, I always like to get extra cheese. I love me a cheese. Well, yeah, I've kind of been converted to the quarter pounder. And then I will get a large fry. And then my drink, I was really into the chocolate chip frap while they had it. But it was a seasonal item, so it's gone now. And I've gone back to the regular mocha. It's so rare that they come out with a seasonal frap. I was very happy. And I used to get the chocolate chip frap like all the time in school. Because it was a pretty common specialty item in the McDonald's near my campus. So it was very nostalgic to have a frap with the chocolate chips in it again. I hope they bring it back. I will miss her. But I do love my regular mocha frap also. Sweet tea enjoyer? Ah, you were just like Onimama. Onimama loved the tea. She would either get the tea or the Coke. Usually the tea. When they had those like specialty tenders or whatever for a while, they had like a half and half drink that was like half tea, half lemonade. The lemonade was a bit too sour for me. I bet if I had actually gotten the half and half, I probably would have been able to like the balance, but the lemonade was very, very sour. Is the coffee at McDonald's in the States any good? There's a surprising amount of marketing and effort for the coffee here in Mapleland. I have only really ever had the frap. I don't really care for their other iced coffee. I think it gets too watered down too fast. But Onimama swore by it. If we had the opportunity to, she would have gotten a French vanilla iced coffee from McDonald's like every morning. If we would have had the disposable income. She would have found a way. She really likes it. I never cared for it though. I always just thought it was kind of watered down and icky, which is very funny coming from someone who really likes the sweet coffees. I can't really think of like other coffee beverages that I've had from them besides like the frap. And I feel like between the two fraps, the mocha is like the more savory option. The caramel is almost too sweet. I do not really care for their caramel frap. I love the mocha though. The mocha is like just the right amount of like bittersweet. I do those for kidney stones, make black tea, sugar, cool to room temp, add lemon, fridge for tomorrow. Makes sense, makes sense. It is pretty watered down compared to other places, but wasn't there also like a whole initiative where they were planning to make like a separate branch of McDonald's that was going to focus purely on like being a Starbucks counterpart, where they were going to go all in on like making really fancy drinks and stuff, Starbucks style? I don't know if they're still planning to do that. Fun fact, McDonald's Canada used to have a reputation for having bad coffee, so they went and bought Tim Hortons' supplier out from under them. That's crazy petty. I kind of love the energy, though. That project was dropped and Taco Bell took over it? Really? Taco Bell? Weird. But yeah, I remembered hearing about McCosmic and I was like, huh. They talked about going all in on McCafe, but I don't know if that ever manifested into anything. Right, I think it was going to be called like McCosmic or whatever, but I don't remember if it managed to go off the ground. There's a fancy Taco Bell restaurant now. That's not the same thing. The Taco Bell Cantina has existed before McCosmic. Taco Bell Cantina has existed long before. Taco Bell, I don't think really has a reason to get into the like beverage side of things, so that's why they're going more into the like slightly elevated dining experience with the cantinas. Also, the perk of the cantinas is that you can get alcohol at some of them. I've said this story before, but a Taco Bell cantina got built directly attached to my dorm in the last couple of years I was in college. And literally, it was attached to the point where there was a door that led from the lobby of our dorm into the Taco Bell cantina. So what we were allowed to do was we were allowed to take our key cards and use it to swipe to get into the Taco Bell cantina. And technically, you're not supposed to bring alcohol back into our dorms because we were a dry campus. But they never checked our beverages. So say you got your funky little beverage while you were at the cantina, they would never check. Technically, they would never check. And I'm not saying I was a bad girl, but I am saying that they thought that I was a very good girl and that there was no way that the drink that I was carrying back in to bring up to my dorm room was anything but just a yummy sody pop, yum 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 yum. Not saying I was a bad girl, but dry campus, by all technicalities. By all accounts. They should have known. I feel like they wouldn't have. I feel like they couldn't have possibly not known. Poured my drinks into an empty can of Monster that had the lids. You're so real for that. You're so real for that. Try just means be good at hiding things. True. That's why I said technically a dry campus, because there are plenty of people who are probably way less subtle than I was. That was my fun. Don't drink on St. Patrick's Day. Watch the parade stumble back from the in-town bar. So true. Crazy stuff. Anyways. But yeah, I think the Taco Bell Cantina is a different initiative. I think McCosmic is truly meant to be like a Starbucks counterpart. I guess the Cantina, if we were going to compare it to anything, would be closer to like Panera's attempt to be like fast casual. Or no, like casual. Oh my god, what was the term? Fast casual is the closest I can think of. They used to call it something funky, but the idea was supposed to be that it's like a restaurant that you go to for like casual dining, but it's also like fast and like can also be known for like carry out or delivery or what have you. It's like that kind of like in the middle vibe. I think that's kind of what the Cantina is trying to do for Taco Bell, where it's like trying to encourage the sit down environment, but it's still Taco Bell. And it's still like focused on delivery and things like that. I really don't remember what it used to call itself. Freaking Panera Bread. Panera Bread betrayed me by getting rid of like basically everything I like on the menu, so I have beef. We did that at a regular Taco Bell in high school though. Well, yeah, but it's not necessarily known for having that like sit down environment, you know? Because it's not like anyone's telling you can't sit down at a Taco Bell, but the point of the Cantina is that it feels cleaner and like it's more intended for you to sit down. If you're sitting down at a Taco Bell, you're dealing with the fact that everything is sticky. Everything you touch is sticky and you don't know why. And you're really just there because you have nowhere else to go, because nowhere else is open. I remember I walked into a Panera Bread and stole pickles from the topping section. That's crazy. I love that for you. Do you have beef, or is it they took away the beef? I have beef! I've told the story of my beloved cheese meal before. And they took all of it away, so you can't even order it that way anymore. They even took away the beverage. It's so fucked up. Society hates me, I fear. Anytime I like something, it'll eventually leave the menu. And even when I changed away from cheese meal and I started eating something else at Panera, they decided to take away that too. So now that's gone forever. And they hate me. And they want me to die. Cruel and unusual punishment. Why are you crying, crybaby? Because I have things that I like, and when you take away things that I like, I get sad. And then I never want to order from a place ever again. Not to be annoying, but I never want to order from them again. It's fine. This is honestly a pain that I've gotten over. It's been gone for a while, but like, sometimes it still tugs at my heartstrings. Because there's occasionally times where Hitomi is like, do you want to get Panera? And I'll be like, maybe. And then I look at the menu and I realize that nothing on it sounds good because everything I like is gone and I get really emo. Can't eat cheese, can't drink cheese, can't cheese cheese, can't cut cheese with my butter knife. If you can't cut the cheese with your butter knife, I think that there's a different problem. I think that your cheese is too hard. But no, my beloved cheese meal. Mac and cheese with grilled cheese. And a cheese Danish. And then a frozen mocha. That was one of my go-to meals in college. And then I died. All of the time. But it was so yummy. My wife when the cheese isn't soft. So true. But like the mac and cheese is pretty much the only thing that's still there. They got rid of the frozen mocha. That's not even available as a drink anymore. They got rid of the cheese Danish. They don't offer that anymore. They still have grilled cheese technically. But it's just like, man, they hate me. And then later, before they got rid of the frozen mocha and the cheese Danish, I guess, they brought in this like, they had this like potato soup that I really liked. But now they only have it very rarely during like winter seasons. This past winter season, they finally brought it back to an extent, and it was the best season of my life, and I'm still sad that it's gone. I hope it comes back once fall starts. I miss her! I don't know how relevant this would be to you, but one of the Canadian theater chains is trying to get into the barcade space. They've opened a few of these adult arcades where they serve booze and stuff. No, I love that. I love barcades. Things like that are cool. I also like movie theaters where they let you like order food and have it be brought to your seat so that you can eat like a full meal and like drink an alcohol while you watch a movie. I did that once. Did I do that on a Thanksgiving? Or did I do that on a Black Friday? I don't remember when specifically I did it, but I went to one of those fancy movie theaters during a Thanksgiving break. And I watched a movie with like a fancy meal and a fancy beverage, and I felt so classy. That was a solo date by myself, and I enjoyed it. And I vividly remember that there was a couple that wanted to take my seat so they could sit next to each other, so I had to like move to like get a different spot. It was just like one seat over, so I didn't complain too bad, but it's pretty funny. They're ruining their menu to spite you specifically. I know! It sucks! A giant pinball arcade near me was just voted the best arcade in the country. Ooh, that's fun. I love pinball. Same company has some theaters where they let you do that. Haven't tried it, but my brother did say it was nice. I think it's comfy. They like make the seats purposefully comfier too. I don't think I ate anything like super fancy. I think I just got like pretzel sticks with like beer cheese. And then I had, I don't remember what kind of alcohol it was, but it was like a pretty yummy mixed drink with like a bunch of stuff in it. I think it was like either a peach or strawberry thing. Which makes sense for me because it's the flavor profile I usually like. I can't remember what it was. But it was good. And then I cried while watching a movie and drinking an alcoholic beverage. But it was a good time, and then I spent like a lot of the day walking around and enjoying the vibes of the city, and it was good. It was a good time. I miss being in a city, or being near enough to a city. Someday, when I can pick myself up off the ground and I'm making enough money dollars to do it, I would love to be near a city again. And as long as there's transit that would allow me to get in and out of the city, I wouldn't mind living on its outskirts. I just miss being able to do stuff. Speaking of drinks, I had plum wine I brought back from Japan and it tastes like fruit juice. Dangerously good. Mmm! Nice. Be careful that you don't drink too much of it and get super drunk, though. Or do, I guess, if that's your prerogative. Maybe don't do that on a Monday night, though. Unless you're off work tomorrow, in which case, go crazy. You don't have to listen to me. I like Japanese whiskey. I need to try more Japanese alcoholic products, I suppose. Because I don't really have a lot of experience. I was never really super inclined to drink once I became old enough to start drinking. It was just never really something I cared to get into. I want to try more, though. Why is the chat blurry? Do you have your glasses on? Do you wear glasses? I don't know. Suntory brand is a good beginner's brand. I'll keep that in mind. I don't know how easily I can get certain things in this corner of Onigashima, but I don't know. On the ice rink? Bro, where have you been? I feel like you've gone everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Have you been falling on the ice rink? Did you take head damage? It's Owaru. He's lost. It'd be like that sometimes, I guess. Where did this dragon take him? To an ice rink. He just said that. He's at the ice rink. Drinking before you're behind. I wasn't planning to drink tonight. I should hope I'm behind. I'm not drinking. I have no reason to drink, honestly. I think I have one bottle each left of the alcohol that I got before, maybe? I don't know, that's something else I have to replenish whenever I manage to go grocery shopping. Ooh. Drinkies, so expensive. Wait, since you're all spouting fairy tales, when's Shrek 2? Did you want to watch Shrek 2? I wasn't really planning another watch-along anytime soon. But I like Shrek 2, so I wouldn't mind getting a chance to watch it. Ultimate plot twist, we watch something because it's a Donathon reward, and then we end up watching all the sequels just because we want to. My mom thinks I'm an alcoholic. She brings alcohol and leaves it in my fridge whenever she visits, and I don't know why. I mean, it could also just be a nice gift. A lot of people bring alcohol as like a housewarming gift or like a gift for whenever they're staying at somebody else's place. Can if you want. Never seen Shrek 4, so I'm down. Oh god, I've also never seen Shrek 4. I will know everything about 2. I might vaguely remember some of the plot points of 3. I will know nothing about 4. I think the only stuff I know about 4 was when I watched like a YouTube channel that I like do a review of it. So like bits and pieces of the story. And then we'd be prepared for whenever Shrek 5 comes out, I guess. Crazy work. They're making a new one, right? We can catch it before it comes out. Yeah, we really could. We really could. Maybe we'll do that. We'll see. I have to think it over. I will never be prepared for Shrek 5. In theory, we will be prepared because we will have caught up on all of the lore leading up to it. Will we actually be prepared? Probably not. No one, I think, could ever truly be prepared for whatever Shrek 5 is going to be. Because whatever it's going to be looks like it's going to be bad. Shrek 5.5, well, that doesn't exist yet. So we can't really be prepared for that either, because it doesn't exist. That is how that works. Personally think a Spaceballs watch along would be good, especially since Yuno has never seen it. I don't think Spaceballs would be good to watch because it's a parody of something that I've never watched. It's hard to watch a parody when you don't really know that much about the original thing. Space. What? We'll never make another Austin Powers, so Shrek 5 will be all I have. That sucks, man. Imagine having to rely on Shrek 5. That just sounds so sad. I'd argue most of the jokes land anyway, but that's fair. I mean, you could say that, but there's like... the me who hates sci-fi is not going to understand a lot of it nonetheless. I just always think that it's more fair to go into a parody when you, like, know the source material. I'm sure it'd be easy enough to enjoy the movie as it is, but, like, there's probably more enjoyment to be had if you understand the references being made. The Scary Movie series was a gateway for me to watch a bunch of movies when I was younger. That's fair. There's a bit where movies come out before they're done in the future, so the bad guys watch their own movie to see what the heroes are up to. That's fun. Okay. May I ask your opinion on Oni 2s? As in, if I did another OniMon but on a Tuesday? It's fine. It's a sequel to OniMon because it's literally got a 2 in it. Two of them even. 2's more than 1. I mean, I do like it. I do usually stream. Well, before I was streaming on Tuesdays. It's just that this week I am not. Oni Weds. No. There will be no Oni Weds. Wednesday is the me day. I have to have at least one, guys. As in, if you did another stream in 12 hours, I can't. I'm taking the day off to do other work stuff. I have to do a lot of budgeting and planning for re-debut, so I really can't. I appreciate wanting to see me again in 12 hours, but I cannot. Coward, me too, but coward. What if it somehow flipped one week? As in I streamed only Wednesday and then every other day was off? I would say let her cook, but I'm cooking. Like I said, I can cook content, but I can't cook actual food. But I can make content real good. And that's why I need the time to cook it. I will cree. I understand, but just know that I'm cree. I don't want to make you cree. Why do you think I always stream almost every day besides, like, Wednesday? I occasionally will take, like, 1 or 2 other days off, but, like, for the most part, Wednesday is my only true off day. I do my best to stream every other day. I'm trying so hard. Random question, do you have any attachment to the Chow Garden from the Sonic Adventure games? I got nostalgic about them recently and dived back in. It's an only deep pet sim. Yes, I actually watched several YouTubers that are, like, super locked in on stuff related to the Chow Garden. And they'll, like, work really hard to make, like, super strong Chow. And, like, run them through all the races and things like that. But you are right that it is surprisingly, much deeper than I ever remembered it being as a kid. As a kid, I was always just like, yippee, Chow! I like them. But there's so much more to it, and so much more you can actually do to, like, make them really, really good Chow. Crazy work. The best Chow is the Sonic-shaped Chow. You are allowed to feel that way. I like the fact that you can make a bunch of Chow shaped after all of them, though. It's very cute. I swear I'm the only person that basically skipped the Chow stuff. I mean, that's fine. It is basically optional. Unless you're going for full completion and you want all the emblems, then you have to do all of the Chow Garden stuff. But, like, I think it's fun. More so than actually raising the Chow, one of my favorite things to do was to just run around the garden and just, like, jump around on all of the, like, structures and stuff. I would just, like, fly it around and be silly. I particularly liked being in those areas with the characters that could fly, so my favorite one to use when I was taking care of the Chow was Tails. I literally wouldn't do, like, anything else a lot of the time, and I would just fly around. Especially as Eggman. Being Eggman in there is also funny, especially because they didn't really bother to dub over any of his lines, so you still hear the Japanese voice actor, like, talking and, like, making sounds at the Chow. I don't know why they didn't dub him, but it's very funny. Just give the Chow uppies. Well, you can't fly with the Chow, unfortunately. Once you're holding the Chow, you can only jump. But I do love that you can, like, hold them and carry them around. And then when you put them down, at least as Tails, you can, like, turn on your flying mode after you jump and you can just fly around the whole way. It's so good. He goes Yosh a lot. Yeah, it's cute. But again, he's one of the only ones that didn't get dubbed. As a viewer, can I win a chess tournament? Yeah, probably. I don't know how to play chess. You would certainly beat me. I would probably just... Any move I tried to make, I would just be told that's illegal. That's illegal. You can't move that piece that way. That's illegal. No, you can't go that direction. Because I genuinely don't know anything. You can submit your voice clip to dub Eggman for them. Yeah, this many years later, of course they're going to take a random anime girl. Pretending to be Eggman like, good job. Yes, quite good. Can't even do a good Eggman. I wouldn't even know what they'd want him to say. I think there was another character who didn't get properly dubbed for the Chow Garden, but I can't fully remember. My queen grow bosses and so your king is dead, I win. Literally me. I think it might be Tails. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Tails. I remember Tails had like a everything will be okay line that he says. But I think that's one of the only ones. I think maybe his more like effort noises were not dubbed. I think. I just hire the Snapcube people to make whatever voice lines they'd want and call it a day. Oh my god. I mean, I'm sure they would be more than happy to. Especially after how much notoriety they gained from doing the Sonic Adventure 2 dubs. That would be crazy to actually hear them in a Sonic game, though. But I'd also be so happy for them. I'm a big fan of Snapcube, and like, I believe the group is called Clownbox? Yeah. I'm a big fan of their stuff. I like watching them. I am not nearly as good at the like off-the-cuff improv humor that Penny and the others are, but every time I watch their stuff, I'm always like re-inspired to like get better at my content. I feel like a good amount of my humor style is similar to Penny's. I'm just not nearly as good at the improvisational bits. I'm trying to get better. But every time I watch her, I'm just like, God, everything she says is so funny. I like cry laugh. I love their stuff a lot. I'd pee my pants if they actually did so. I don't think they'd be given true free reign. I think they would probably only get the chance to, like, dub whatever the localizers wrote for them. That in itself would still be pretty cool. Hard to improv when one tends to overthink. Stop! Stop! You're too real. Stop! It's too real. I've tried to get better at speaking off the cuff. I think I've gotten better at it over time. But there's definitely a lot of periods where I feel like I'm not talking as well as I could. Someday, though. I am sure if I keep at it... I mean, I've only been streaming for about 2 years now. I really can't say that I am good at it yet. I think it's something that you really do have to like refine. Penny was like making content for a very long time under like a number of different aliases for like years. So of course she has reached a point where she's just like naturally quite good at it. I do not have nearly as much experience under my belt of doing like live stream yapping content. That is a thing I have to get better at. That's also why I'm interested in eventually starting the, well, eventually, it's like on the docket of things to do, but the Disco Elysium, Let's Play style videos, I'm very interested to see what that's going to be like for me, because most of the time I'm either like reading off of a script that I wrote like into the void, or I'm talking to chat while I'm playing a game. Or I'm talking to Hitomi while we're like playing through a game together. So this is gonna be the first time I'm playing through a game alone and also trying to like yap and make content over it. I do wonder how that's going to turn out content-wise once I start it. What game? Disco Elysium. That was one of the Donathon incentives that was met. It was to do a video series on it. So that one's going to be edited down videos of a playthrough. So we'll see what happens, or like what kind of angle or direction it's even going to take. Because I don't know yet. I know like bits and pieces about the game, but I've never fully experienced it ever. So I'm quite curious to see what it'll actually be like to play. The game? Why are you bringing up the game in the year of our Lord 2025? Now everybody loses. I can't believe you've done this. Life plays us every day. Someone's going through it. We all lost, played like damn fiddles. It's Jover. We've done our best. We can all blame one guy. Points at him. You know the one. It's that guy's fault. Get him! Stop talking, we lost. Oh, okay. I guess that's the end of stream. See you guys on Thursday. Or hopefully I see you tomorrow during the premiere of the Chorus collab. Anyway. Thank you guys so much for choosing to spend time with me. I hope that you have a good rest of your time zone. And until I see you again, Yunotsu! Since we lost the game, I guess that means we also lost the stream. It's Jover. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Bye-bye.